I tried, I'll become a villainess who goes down in history. It's one of the newest entries into the villainess genre that's really been popping off since 2022. This one's a story about a girl who reincarnates as the villainess in her favorite dating sim, much like many of the others in this genre. There's a lot I could say about this show, but today I'll just talk about how I'm not a huge fan of the romance, how I felt the dialogue was often very corny, and how, despite both of those things, the main character is really fun to watch, particularly as the show goes on. First, the corniness. The best example of this is the opening of the show's first episode, where the main character talks about how, "Oh wow, I've reincarnated into my favorite game, and now I'm gonna be the greatest villainess. No, even better. I'll become a villainess who goes down in history." Just feels like overly emotional and overly explanative, and that kind of corny shit happens a lot in this show. It's not like all the time, or even most of the time. It's just too much for my taste. However, the corny dialogue is only the thing I hate second most. The thing I hate the most is that romance I mentioned before. I just don't think it's handled very well. The problem is that the two characters in this romance are both under the age of 16, at least physically. And honestly, all the romantic scenes between them just feel weird because at the time our main character will be like 8 or 10, and the person coming onto them doesn't really feel like they're treating them as an 8 or 10-year-old. Granted, our MC acts wise beyond her years, and the romantic partner is a few years older than 8 or 10, so it's not like impossible to make a romance work there. Heck, maybe even a kiss scene, but you gotta put a lot more work in than what the show did to make those scenes feel good, because if there's not enough build-up, when I see two children kiss on the lips, it just feels weird with the pink anime background. Despite all that, the MC herself is great. Her goal is basically to become hated for being talented and calling people out on their bullshit, which is just as fun to watch as it sounds. An early example is when she grabs a sword from her brother, kicks a tree, and cuts an apple that falls from it, like all in one motion. It was awesome to watch, even if other characters in the scene didn't react as amazed as I was by an 8-year-old showing such athleticism. Scenes like that, ones that got me on the edge of my seat shouting about how based the MC is, are very common in this show. Heck, if there weren't so many other negatives about this series, it could be at least an 8 out of 10. Sadly, that's not the case, and based on the 6 episodes currently out for the show, I'm currently giving it a 6 out of 10. It starts off pretty rough, but it grew on me. Also, visually, the show is like mediocre, so that wasn't helping it too much either. If you want to check this show out, it's on Crunchyroll. That's it for me, though. I've been Bug. Like, subscribe, and, well, I'll see you next time.